Should I ask you a simpler question?
I'll go find some.
And it's also true that I've tended to hate
Yeah, I think Naomi will like that. Here, let me...
Is your sister still alive? Yeah, I was there. I know you were by the sidewalk singing as we walked by. And then I lost, I had a rush yeah. I marched with Yeah.
Ya la 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 la, 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 oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Can we hear me now? Yes, we can. Shana Tova and welcome to Kehillah High Holiday Services. I am Sharon Groden. I'm a member of Kehillah Spiritual Leadership, and I'm delighted to be welcoming in the new year of 5779 with all of you. May it be a sweet year for all of us. May it be a year of deepening understanding, exploring new possibilities, strengthening connections, rising up to new opportunities. By arriving, we've taken the first step toward creating sacred space together. And to really start to make it ours, I am now going to ask you to do something very courageous. First of all, I would like to invite you to repeat after me the Hebrew for wishing someone a good year, L'Shana Tova. That was not the courageous part. Here is the courageous part. It takes bravery for many of us, but if you're willing, I'm going to ask you to catch and hold the eye of someone you do not know. And so you may have to look far off in the room to find that person. Catch the eye and hold it of someone you do not know. Take a deep breath. Do it now. Stay looking at that person. Do you have it? Stay looking at that person. That might be your new best friend. Wave at that person. To that person, shout out, L'Shana Tova. Ah, beautiful. Okay, you can stop now.
And now you have just about 1 minute to spread the welcome all around to whomever you want. 1 minute. Tonight, I'll be joined leading our services by Hazan Shulamit Weiss-Fairman, and our musical prayer leaders, Beth Dickinson, Julie Naznensky, Debbie Fire, Avi Rose singing with us tonight, and we'll have appearances by our senior rabbi, Dev Noily, and our founding rabbi, Bert Jacobson. And tonight's sermon will be by Rabbi Gray Merseth, Kehila's Youth Education Director, and Rabbi David will be dancing with you upstairs. So I believe that is our full complement this evening. Do you have announcement sheets? I am not going to direct you to anything in the announcement sheets. I am not going to read from the announcement sheets, but you are going to read from the announcement sheets tonight when you go home. It gives you very much information, not only about tomorrow and about the rest of the holy days, but also about many things you will hear about going on that you will want to know more about. So read them, teach them to your children, speak of them when you walk by the way. There's important stuff in there. Okay. So we welcome in the feeling of sacredness with light and with gratitude for reaching this time of celebration together. Our custom is to invite as lamplighters folks whose volunteer work in the last year reflects the previous year's High Holidays theme. And I just want to pause for a moment and say, for anybody who's invited up for an honor, if you are not inclined to do stairs, I'm giving you the secrets of the inner workings of this building now. Back there, there's a passageway to a hallway that goes directly out onto the bima here. So just letting you know that's an option. So last year, we explored the theme of facing our times with spiritual audacity. And in response to that theme, some Kahila members decided to amplify the monthly Saturday interfaith protests at the ICE detention facility, organizing an additional monthly protest on Sundays. Seems like that would be very helpful to Saturday Shabbat's observers. And I think it inclined many Kahila people to step up and participate. So their actions honor our community, and they've inspired other people to act with audacity. So please turn to page 6 as these Let Our People Go organizers and their families come forward to light the holiday lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Adonai, Eloheinu ruach haolam, shehechiyanu v'kiyumanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
We're continuing on page 121, where you'll find the words for V'nomar lefanav to a familiar melody. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha, v'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I so enjoyed that I got all breathless. Welcome. What a way to welcome in this new year of 5779. Welcome to you all. Welcome back to our short-term, large-scale sanctuary. For some of us, this place has become a very familiar home for High Holy Days. So familiar, you may not be able to imagine the extraordinary transformation of this building into our holy space. It started early this morning by a wonderful team of folks, many of whom are not here to receive our thanks, but we say thank you anyway, and in Kahila we use the American Sign Language twinkle for that. Good twinkling, everybody. Welcome to the first-timers. Will you raise your hand if this is your first time at Kahila High Holiday Services? Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely welcome. And we actually have welcome to another first-timer who is our new sound engineer, Michael Sinclair. Yay. And we welcome you who are with us for the first time through video live streaming. I hope we live up to that. Many of us here arrive energized from yesterday's March for Climate, Jobs, and Justice, calling for better leadership in how we care for the earth. Welcome to you all who rose up. Welcome to the 1,000 grandmothers, hundreds of whom I think will be with us during these High Holy Days. Here in this space, we offer gratitude and respect to the people who cared for this particular bit of earth for thousands of years, the Chochenyo band of the Ochlon people. On my way here this morning, I was struck by the colors that I think of as East Bay colors, the specific blue of the sky and the lake right here in this neighborhood, the particular green of the oaks and the purple of the hills. And we are so privileged to be connected to this. And we acknowledge with particular poignancy because of what we appreciate, the grief of disruption by those indigenous communities from the life they lived here, due to colonialism, attempted genocide. Kehila offers support to their living descendants and the broader indigenous community who are here in the Bay Area, working to save and restore Native culture and land. I said I wasn't going to refer you to the announcement sheets, and I lied. There's information about this in your announcements. So we mark this transition into a new year with particular awareness of where we are in space, in time, in community, and in our hearts, in opening. We're alert to the themes that are always part of Rosh Hashanah: Malchuyot, Zichronot, Shofarot. We're transforming ourselves into a community for the evening, for the holy day, for the days of awe, for all these holy days, reaching into tradition to draw us together this evening into common values, into creative understanding, into collective hope. We allow ourselves an understanding beyond the everyday, an acceptance of the deep power of what is, Malchuyot. We call ourselves to remembrance not only of our actions and our history, but also remembering what makes us most ourselves, Zichronot. We make ourselves available to the sound of the shofar, to be called to attention, to be called to action, shofarot. This is our practice, to gather in each year to begin this opening together. Each of us arrives uniquely in this place at the start of this new year. We're here, each of us embodying the whole of our experience of the last year and the whole of our years, our history, our relationships, our joys, our grief, our hope, our yearning, the entire cosmos of our internal selves. We are all uniquely different from one another. And tonight, the full presence of each of us is essential and powerful. All of what we are is welcome here tonight. All of what we are is exactly what needs to be here tonight. We are all here for each other tonight. All over the world, as the sun sets, we are here. Whatever brought each of us here, and whatever we bring with us, now we are becoming a community of Rosh Hashanah. May this be a place of safety and comfort. May this be a place of renewal. We begin this work together, supporting each other, making room for each other, with all our commonalities and differences as a community for this time of turning. The author Dorothy Allison writes, "Surround yourself with people whose work helps you make sense of the world. You will get lost often. You will need these people and their words to remind you of what is true." It's a good place to start, to remember what is true, to surround ourselves with people and words and music and spirit that strengthen our remembrance and our understanding. So we continue with the final words of Psalm 27 on page 16. Kaveh el Yah, immerse yourself in the oneness of Yah. Be strong and courageous of heart.
Kaveh el Yah, chazak v'yametz libecha. Kaveh el Yah, chazak v'yametz libecha. Kaveh el Yah, chazak v'yametz libecha. Kaveh el Yah, chazak v'yametz libecha.
Page 22, please rise. Please be seated and turn to page 27. As we welcome the darkness of evening, the gates of night, opening to a quieter place, a deeper connection. Let's join together, davening in English or in Hebrew.
Ma'avir yom, hevi laila, mavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai vekayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravi.
Please turn to page 31. Notice the box at the bottom of the page. And then just rest your prayer book in your lap. Rabbi Bert has a story for us and a meditation that will lead us back to that page, to ahava, v'rachamim, chesed, v'shalom, to love and compassion, loving kindness and peace.
Shana Tova. I'd like to share a Hasidic story with you before we chant the Shema. But first, the setting. It's early in the 19th century, and for the first time, there are Jews in Eastern Europe who are emancipating themselves from the Jewish religion. They still identify as Jews, but they call themselves secular or enlightened. Most of the religiously observant Jews, however, are scandalized by this development. Who ever heard of such a thing? To be Jewish and not religious? Why, this is utterly sinful. There's nothing to do but to fight this travesty. So that's the backdrop of the story. Okay, it's Shabbat morning in the town of Berdichev in Poland. And the Rebbe, Levi Yitzchak, is walking to shul to daven, to pray with his community. And on the way, he runs into a newly secular Jew. We'll call him Yaakov. As soon as Yaakov sees Levi Yitzchak, he pulls a pipe out of his pocket and lights it right in front of the Rebbe. "Good morning, Yaakov," says the Rebbe. "You must have forgotten that today is Shabbos, and on Shabbos smoking is forbidden." "Nope, I haven't forgotten." "Well then, surely you must be ignorant of the law in the Torah that forbids us to make a fire on Shabbos." "Not at all. I know all of your laws." Levi Yitzchak looks the young man over. He refuses to be provoked. Instead, he closes his eyes and speaks to God. "Did you hear that, God? True, Yaakov violates certain of your mitzvot, but you must admit one thing, God. Nobody can coerce him into telling a lie. And that's how the tale ends. A lovely story. It shows Levi Yitzchak's deep respect for truth-telling, but it also shows the Rebbe's refusal to be judgmental, which came out of his deep and unconditional love for people. It was a love that looked past differences, no matter of what kind. It is a love that recognizes the divine spark within every human being. I don't have to tell you that this kind of love is not a virtue, either among Jews or among people in our own larger society. But it was a quality possessed by the founder of Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov. So I'd like to invite you to engage in an experiment with me, if you're willing. Close your eyes. And now, just imagine that you are Rebbe Levi Yitzchak, filled with love for all the people in this community. People who are like you in some ways and people who may be very different from you in other ways. Take 1 minute of silence now, immersed in this love, before we chant the Ahava V'Rachamim and then the Shema, the declaration of unity of all the creations in this universe.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev bechol ahava. Amen. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Echad. Ya Echad. Ya
בכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue to daven on your own on page 33 or 34, and we'll conclude in the box on page 34 with truth, emet, one of the many ways of imagining holy power.
Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai, 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 Adonai Elohechem emet. Habore Elohechem emet. Habore Elohechem emet. Habore, 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 Habore Elohechem emet. El Shaddai Elohechem emet. El Shaddai Elohechem emet. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Shaddai Elohechem emet. Harofei Elohechem emet. Harofei Elohechem emet. Harofei, 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 Harofei Elohechem emet. Shekhinah Elohechem emet. Shekhinah Elohechem emet. Shekhinah, 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 Shekhinah Elohechem emet. Shekhinah Elohechem emet. Shekhinah Elohechem emet. Amen.
Please turn to page 36, but you won't need it very much. Micha Mocha is a prayer that we sing and dance, reflecting a tradition that the Israelites sang and danced after their escape from slavery in Egypt. The words are there on page 36, but you might be dancing. Little housekeeping, I'm going to lead a line down here, starting down there, and I invite you to join in as we reach you. Rabbi David will lead a line, there he is, up there on the upper level. There's a lot of us here, so please be aware of each other as you dance. Mi Chamocha is a rising up to radical amazement. Mi Chamocha is a proclaiming of the power and the mystery and the exhilaration of being connected to that power and mystery. As we prepare ourselves to dance this prayer, whether or not you plan to dance, I invite you to rise now in body or spirit, to rise up to the rhythm of your life tonight, to rise up to your values, to rise up to your freedom, to rise up to your joy, to rise up to your truth. Dance.
Mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, no radi lo osef elem, no radi lo osef elem. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
la 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 la
Please join us. Ad brucha Shekhinah, go'elet b'chol geula. Amen.
Please turn to page 104. Let us lie down each night in peace, and may we rise up to encounter life. Let a sukkah of peace shelter us. May we always be open to good counsel, and may we be liberated to serve divine ends. May we be fortified against lies and manipulation, and protected from despair. May those obstacles which lie before us and behind us be cleared away. Let the spirit of protection and aid surround us, and let us be enveloped in compassion and grace. Make safe all our comings and goings as we embark toward life and wholeness, now and ever. Blessed be the power of protection over us. Blessed be the power of protection over us and over everyone. Amen.
Ashkivenu ya Eloheinu le shalom. שלום בך וכל האמונות לעד. אמן.
Please turn to page 37, the center box. I'm going to tell you a little bit first about the theme that those of us in the spiritual leadership chose as a kind of sub-theme this year. It's the theme of truth. We felt this was right for our political moment for reasons I don't have to explain to you. And we were asking ourselves, so who are we in a time like this? What are we called to do in a time like this? And then we realized this is the question we're always asking ourselves on the High Holy Days. This is pretty much our most ancient question. So this is Shofarot. This is the question, what are we called to do? But tonight, on Erev Rosh Hashanah, it's not a question of what things you are doing. It is a question of listening. It is a question of, what is this call? What does it sound to you? We sound the shofar on this new moon, this new year, our holy day, when the moon's light is hidden from us. A law for those who wrestle with Yah. A call for justice from the source of our ancestors. Please join us in the middle of page 37.
תקעו בחודש שופר, בכסל יום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא. משפט לאלוהי יעקב.
See, Kaddish is on page 36. Please rise.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. וילמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה ולעילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
Be seated. We're about to begin to enter into the first Amida of our holy days, a silent Amida. It's an opportunity for each of us to listen, either with the help of the traditional words that are in your prayer book, or to listen to the words of your heart. In your prayer book, there are many options. And we're offering you a moment here to check it out, decide how you're going to make the most of these few minutes of quiet and preparation and sinking into whatever is real for you right now. Beginning on page 39, there are a lot of options. You can do it in Hebrew, you can do it in English, you can read material that is not at all traditional for this moment. And so just have a look. This song, Achat Sha'alti, this prayer from Psalm 27 that brings us into the feeling of being held in a space of protection, of prayer, the perfect place to have this moment. Please rise and join us on page 16. Please remain standing for the silent Amida, page 39. Top of page 54.
Say shalom bimroma, Uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. La 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 שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. La 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 la. La 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 שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. La 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 la. La 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 Amen.
Shana Tova. You are crazy beautiful. Thank you. So tonight it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague and my friend, Rabbi Gray Mirseth, to offer tonight's teaching. I'm going to keep it short so they can teach. Rabbi Gray came to Kehila a year ago as the director of Kehila School after being ordained at Hebrew College in Boston. This year, they're expanding their role, taking on leadership of our Bar and Bat Mitzvah program also, after our beloved teacher, Sandra Razielli, moved to Hawaii. But I think she's listening tonight. Hi, Sandra. If you've been around Kehila School at all this past year, you know that Rabbi Gray is a magical creature, filled with wonder and wisdom and curiosity. They are equally at home sharing reading recommendations with third graders, trading stories about their pets with Bar and Bat Mitzvah students, and diving into the most arcane questions of Aramaic grammar in order to puzzle out a challenging bit of Talmud, the latter often while wearing glittery fairy wings. Rabbi Gray enriches our community in so many ways. It gives me great joy to invite them to the Bima to share their Torah.
The first time I looked at a page of Talmud, my initial thought was, what have I gotten myself into? This was the first day of my second semester of rabbinical school, not much more than a year after I'd learned the Aleph Bet, the Hebrew alphabet. True story. About 2.5 years since I had announced to my initially baffled parents that I intended to become a rabbi. Hi, Mom and Dad. They're right over there. 3 years after I realized that it would be possible to go deeper into my Jewishness without changing a single thing about who I was getting very familiar with the feeling of what have I gotten myself into. To my great good fortune, I had a Talmud teacher who led us, word by word and line by line, with unfailing patience and unmistakable love for her subject. I didn't understand that love right away. For the first few weeks, I only saw the challenge of Talmud study, which was exciting in its own abstract way. Talmud was a puzzle, a code to which I only had fragments of a key. I believed it was amazing because people I trusted assured me that it was, but I had no idea what it had to do with me. And then, one day, I did. It was a morning in the Beit Midrash, the place of study and investigation where students at my school prepared for class, like any other. I sat across from my chavruta, my study partner, parsing the text word by word and line by line. And I noticed that the task was shifting from impossibly hard to manageably hard, that I could hold just enough of it in my mind at once that I was suddenly able to see what it was that we were learning. The way the text would shift between one genre and the next, one moment poetry, then narrative, then intricate legal debate. The way conversations happened across generations of sages, establishing a time-traveling fellowship of opinionated nerds. I saw the way a sugya, a chunk of Talmud text, would more often refuse easy resolution than yield a simple yes or no answer. This text, this difficult, poetic, binary-breaking text, was so undeniably queer that at first I could hardly believe what I was seeing. And when I say queer, I do mean queer like those of us whose gender and sexuality aren't straight, aren't binary, aren't quite what most people expected or imagined. But I don't just mean that. I mean the queerness that belongs to all of us on the margins. All of us who live out our truth in a world that did not see us coming. And I don't mean that the Talmud is necessarily queer or feminist in content. This sacred ancient text was assembled by human hands, limited by their particular historical context and biases. But it is queer nonetheless, in the way that it is weird and challenging and brave and relentlessly itself, even in the face of opposition. Later, I would encounter the brilliant Talmud teacher, Rabbi B'nai Lappi, who teaches that the Talmud is a work of queer resilience made manifest, that it is an apocalypse survival handbook. Through her teachings and the teachings of so many who study with her, my vocabulary for these facts would get much more refined. But on the first day that I truly met the Talmud, I felt what I would only later have words for. Queerness was not something that Judaism tolerated or shifted in order to accommodate. Queer people owning and creating Jewish tradition was not something that had happened in the past few years or decades. Marginal people owning and creating Jewish tradition was not new, was not tenuous, and was not anything that could be stopped. What I had previously perceived as a recent innovation actually went all the way down to Judaism's roots. Sitting there in the Beit Midrash, I felt like I was breathing air with a higher concentration of oxygen than before. Something that was true inside me was also true on the page. And seeing that reflection amplified my truth, made it realer and easier to claim. It wasn't the first time I'd had that feeling. In the age-old tradition of nerdy preteens and teens, I spent much of my middle school years hiding in the stacks of libraries, hands reaching for the spines of books, hands reaching for the spines of my most reliable friends. I know the grown-ups around me worried sometimes. Was I missing out socially? Was I lonely? And the answer is, of course. Yes, I was lonely. But all that reading was my way out of loneliness. I was reading with a hope that anyone on the margins is likely to recognize. I was seeking queerness in those pages, even a hint of it, even a drop, collecting the fragments of a code that might add up to mean I was not alone, that the truth inside me, the truth I didn't yet have words for, was real, could not be denied. It is a deep and particular kind of work to dream the truth of ourselves into being, especially for those of us whose truth is not always affirmed by the wider world in which we live. This is the work my 12-year-old self was doing in the library stacks, and my 25-year-old self was doing as I studied my first daf, my first page of Talmud. And that daf told me that Rabbi Elazar said, from the day that the temple was destroyed, the gates of prayer were sealed, as it says in the book of Lamentations, even when I cry out for help, the Holy One shuts out my prayer. Which is to say that Rabbi Elazar imagines a time in our history when we had a direct channel to the source, and in the cataclysmic moment in the year 70, when the temple, the geographic center of Jewish practice at that time, was destroyed, that direct channel was closed. Even though Rabbi Elazar lived in the time of diasporic Judaism's formation, his statement tells me he felt alone, cut off from a connection he imagines being available to previous generations of Jews. But he continues, in spite of the fact that the gates of prayer were closed, the gates of tears are never closed, as it says in Psalm 39, hear my prayer, Holy One, and lend your ear. You will not be silent at my tears. Even in a world where connection can be challenging, even in a world that seems to be falling apart, there is a direct line that cannot be cut off. Crying out invites accompaniment, companionship, solidarity. The tears of this gate carry truth that only later gets put into words. It is the truth of our innermost hopes and fears, of our very being. It is the truth of the dignity within each person, in our particularity and our unity, perhaps especially the truth of those whose humanity and dignity is too often denied in the public discourse. These are tears that cut through static. These tears are the cry of the shofar opening the gates of the year. This cry cannot be denied. This gate cannot be sealed. When we cry out, and when the gate of tears receives our cries, we are no longer alone. What this piece of Talmud teaches is exactly what I felt in the Beit Midrash and in the library, finding myself right there on the page, opened up space inside me. And when I was no longer the sole custodian of my truth, I had so much more capacity to attend to the truth of others. I could leave the library. I could step out of the Beit Midrash. I could reach out my hand. This is why representation in leadership, in literature, matters. This is why it is so critically important that we take care with the stories we tell our children, the ones we tell each other, the ones we tell ourselves. We owe it to our community to strive to see the truth of each other's beings, to reflect them back, to amplify and affirm their realness. We owe it to each other to help every one of us feel less alone. We live in a time not so different from the one depicted in the Talmud. The structures of our society, the way things have been for a long time, are shifting and cracking. It's hard to see what is falling apart and what has the potential to transform into something new and unimaginably beautiful. It might be easy to think that we're outside of that fight right now in this hall. Today, tomorrow, and in the coming days, Indigenous leaders and other local activists have assembled and will assemble in San Francisco to call for climate justice, to urge the officials meeting this week to use their power to bring about the change we so desperately need. Many people here were part of yesterday's massive assembly. Maybe you don't feel any tension between showing up there and being here in prayer and contemplation, but maybe you do. Maybe it's hard sometimes to see the connection between this space and the spaces of more concrete action and activism. But what the Gate of Tears teaches me, what I hope it can teach us, is that turning in, attending to our internal truths and witnessing those truths together is every bit as much a part of the work of healing and change as our outward actions. When we gather to affirm what we hold true and dear, what is real in our world and real in ourselves, we open up so much space. This is where we come together and cry out, letting the shofar blast open the gate of our connection to each other, to the source of being. This is where we get strong and clear and grounded in our truth, so that in the year to come we can do the work we need to do in the streets and in our homes, in our online communities and in our paid and unpaid organizing, in our survival and in our growth. The work that brings us toward the world we want to live in, word by word, line by line, one outstretched hand at a time. As we gather tonight at the gate of the new year, may we be blessed to cry out our own truths and hear the cried out truths of others. May we bear witness to what is real in each other. May we all feel a little less alone. I cannot wait to see what our witnessing and connection make possible. Shana Tova.
Ya la 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 la, ya ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya ya ya. Ya ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya.
Amen. Now, we have complicated things to do. If you are a new member of Kehillah, or you are somebody who is here for the first time for our high holidays, or any other kind of first-timer that is in your heart, I invite you right now, really, to take your prayer books and join us up here, but not yet. If you line up along these two aisles, because I think there's quite a number of you, we'll tell you what to do. And while you're doing it, I'm going to say a prayer. Okay? You can get up now. Now, this is a prayer of gratitude for volunteers and staff who are outside the sanctuary working very hard to make this experience wonderful for you. May the source of the blessings received by our predecessors, Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, Bilhah, bless entirely this community and all holy communities, they and their loving partners and their children and all they have. And for those who band together to create houses for congregating in prayer, and for those who enter therein to pray, and those who donate candles for kindling and wine for kiddush and havdalah, and bread for visitors and tzedakah for the needy, and for all who engage faithfully in serving the needs of the community, may the Holy One of Blessed Name reward them and protect them from all ailment and give healing to their body and forgive them of their errors. And may the Holy One send a blessing of success upon all the work of their hands. And together with all their brothers and sisters, we say, Amen. So now, and I'm just going to remind you, just in case no stairs is a better option, back through there, up the hallway, right out here. We're about to chant the first Aveeno Malkina of these holy days, a prayer that calls out for support, Aveenu to a parent, Malkeinu to a powerful one. The language has us reaching out to help from a source of strength and love. As we begin to examine the truth of who we are in our relationships, in our actions, in ourselves, we ask to be supported in our effort so that we are encouraged to have a really good look and really be able to be with what we see. Imagine having exactly the support you need. Being surrounded with compassion and loving kindness and tenderness, supporting our internal work, allowing us to begin to see and to understand without defensiveness, without fear. When we chant the 13 attributes of the divine before the Aveeno Malkina, our chant Yud He Vav He, we're bringing out our hopes that this may be a process of truth and wholeness. Please turn to page 102 as our new members and first-timers come forward. And please rise if you're able. Page 102.
Aveeno Malkinu in lanu melech ela ata. Aveeno Malkinu aseh imanu leman shemecha. Aveeno Malkinu Kaddish aleinu Shana Tova. Litany number 1, page 103. Aveeno Imenu, we want to make this year a new beginning, our truth and our way. We want to grow from the harshness of life. Aveeno Imenu, teach us to accept what we must accept, our truth and our way. Teach us to change what we must change. Aveeno Imenu, show us how to enjoy the gifts of life, our truth and our way. Help us face disease and death. Aveenu Imenu, help us make peace with our enemies, our truth and our way. Teach us how to help our people Israel. Aveenu Imenu, teach us how to help all humanity, our truth and our way. Guide us in turning and returning wholly and completely. Aveenu Imenu, teach us to help those who are ill, our truth and our way. Guide us to write our names in the book of life. Aveenu Imenu, guide us to write our names in the book of transformation and healing, our truth and our way. Guide us to write our names in the book of sustenance and livelihood. Aveenu Imenu, teach us to reach out to you and to each other for support, our truth and our way. Guide us in learning how to love. Continuing on page 104. Aveeno Malkina, Haneinu Va'aneinu, Aveeno Malkina, Haneinu Va'aneinu, Ki ein banu masi. Asei manu tzedaka v'chesed. Asei manu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. O Mother and Father of life, please hear us and give us your grace. Our guide deep within us, oh, hear us and give us compassion and mercy and peace. Oh, guide us through your grace, justice and mercy to all. Oh, guide us and teach us, grant justice and mercy, we shall be free once again. Aveeno Malkina, Haneinu Va'aneinu, Aveeno Malkina, Haneinu Va'aneinu, Ki ein banu masi. Asei manu tzedaka v'chesed. Asei manu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu.
gratitude and thanks to all of you who rose up and joined us on the Bima tonight. Look forward to meeting all of you more. You may return to your seats. And we're going to hear a word from Michael Sachs-Toller.
Good evening. I'm Michael Sachs-Toller, the Executive Director of Kehillah Synagogue, and I love my job. One thing I love is the view I get of the many parts of this living, growing organism we call the Kehillah community. During last year's high holidays, our leaders called us to act with spiritual audacity. Tonight, I want to share some of the audacious acts that I have witnessed this year. Leaders of Kehillah's Immigration Committee continued organizing a monthly protest called Let Our People Go at the West County Detention Facility, calling for an end to the detention, deportation, and mass incarceration of our neighbors. Protests there by many local organizations culminated with a demonstration on June 30th of over 4,000 people, led primarily by Kehillah's leaders. A few days later, the Contra Costa Sheriff canceled the county jail's lease with ICE. This past spring, the Kehillah Board of Directors voted to offer physical sanctuary in our Grand Avenue building to immigrants facing the threat of deportation. We've been raising money to build a new shower and will soon be ready to open our doors. For the second year in a row, Kehillah is contributing to the Segurite Land Trust by paying the She'umi land tax, a voluntary tax that builds indigenous people's capacity to buy back land in the East Bay. This year, we invited our whole congregation to contribute, and more than 60 households have already responded. During this challenging year for those who strive for peace in Israel and Palestine, Kehillah continued to offer a spiritual home to people with many different relationships to Israel. And just yesterday, as Rabbi Gray said, Kehillah showed up in force at the big Climate Justice March in San Francisco. We also have looked bravely at our own congregation. We are well underway with Kehillah's Belonging and Allyship Project, our long-term initiative to address racial justice and dismantle white supremacy within Kehillah. We are beginning affinity groups for people of color, folks of white privilege, parents of color, and parents in interracial couples with their kids of color, white parents with children of color, and Sephardi and Mizrahi Jews. A new working-class low-income group has become a place for working-class and low-income Kehillah members to meet together to build solidarity, and has begun efforts to raise class consciousness within Kehillah. On October 7th, I invite you to join me in an exciting workshop, Open Minds, Open Hearts, Exploring Class Dynamics in our Kehillah community. we are in the early stages of deepening our commitment to full inclusion by applying the principles of disability justice to our building, our programs, and our community as a whole. This past year, we also celebrated and learned as a community. Under the leadership of our new school director, Rabbi Gray Mirseth, Kehillah School has continued to grow as a place of learning and community for Jewish young people of a wide range of backgrounds, races, beliefs, and abilities. During our extraordinary Brit Kehillah Community Covenant last November, in which hundreds of us came in celebration of Rabbi Dev Noily becoming our new senior rabbi, over 100 people crowded around tables in our sanctuary to study Talmud. And that made Dev happy. 19 young Kehillah members gave powerful and provocative Torah teachings at their bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies, and we celebrated them with dancing, blessings, and joyful music. Under the leadership of our first ever rabbinic intern, Sam Lucky, we started a liturgically traditional and radically inclusive minyan every second Friday of the month. A pretty audacious set of things, don't you think? And you know what? That isn't even close to all that happened at Kehillah this past year. You'll catch some more of it in our annual report here. These are tough times. As Nancy Feinstein, a Kehillah leader and a mentor to me, said, building our resilience is building the resistance. Let me say that again. Building our resilience is building the resistance. She continued, this is true for each of us as individuals, but it's also true for organizations and institutions. As Kehillah moves forward, we want to become resilient enough to continue to be a place that engages, supports, comforts, and sustains. So how does Kehillah become resilient enough? We do so by taking care of our people, of our leaders, of our staff, and of our physical home. We all have a role to play in doing that. Please volunteer in our office, in our building, or at a program. Please take initiative and help make happen the things you most want to see happen at Kehillah. If you're not a member yet and want to know about membership, please talk to me or any of our staff and leadership. Please join the Legacy Society of Kehillah by remembering Kehillah with an afterlife gift. Please, in addition to all of these things, take an envelope from the lobby or go to our website and donate so that we will continue to act with collective courage, solidarity, and power to transform the world that is into the world we want to see. Like you, I sure am glad Kehillah's here. And I'm glad that I get to journey through this next year with all of you. Shana Tova.
For Leinu this evening, page 107, may we feel your holy power. Please rise.
May we feel your holy power. May we feel your holy strength. Page 109. I think we're going to feel that feel together, all together again. Deep breath. May we feel your holy power. May we feel your holy strength. May we feel your holy presence surround us in this holy place. May we feel the earth beneath our feet as we bend and bow to you. May our bodies rise to greet you as we feel your presence pouring through. It is upon us, it's upon us to feel your holy sound. It's upon us to hear your holy sound. It's upon us to feel the love inside. It's upon us to face you and not hide. It's upon us to think, to act, to do. It's upon us to do what's right and true. It's upon us to reach up to the sky. It's upon us to take our wings and fly. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol. 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 May we feel your holy power. May we feel your holy strength. May we feel your holy presence surround us in this holy place.
You may be seated. In the midst of our celebrations, we always make room for our mourning because it is a thing that we all will share. I invite you, if you'll be saying Kaddish this evening, for someone for whom you're in active mourning, or for someone who died in years past in this season, I invite you to rise. And let's all at once bring their names into the room. And if it's your custom to rise with the mourners, I invite you to do that now. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 105. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael v'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shmei dekudesha, richu. Le'ela u'le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yishmael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Please be seated. Yah, teach me your way. Lead me in the path of integrity. I pray to see the goodness. I pray to see the goodness of Yah in the land of the living. Page 39.
Horeni Hashem, darkecha, unecheni beorach mishor, unecheni beorach mishor, beorach mishor, leman shorerai, lulehemati, lirot betuv Hashem, lirot betuv Hashem, be'eretz chayim, lulehemati, lirot betuv Hashem, lirot betuv Hashem, be'eretz chayim.
May our prayers rise up at evening and our yearning be heard in the morning, and our forgiveness come at evening. May our truth emerge at evening, and our harshness depart us in the morning, and our change begin at evening. May our voices rise up at evening, and our hearts seek you in the morning, and our songs of gratitude begin in the evening. May our teshuvah rise up at evening, and our pardon greet us in the morning, and atonement cleanse us as evening. May our knocking ascend at evening, and your gates swing wide in the morning, and may we enter them at evening. May we enter these holy days in the fullness of all of this. Page 114, Ya'aleh.
And would the Bima team come and join us, those of you who aren't on the Bima? Yeah. It's good to be together. Ya'aleh tachtunenu me'erev V'yavo shavatenu miboker V'yera'eh rinunenu ar arev V'yera'eh rinunenu ar arev Ya'aleh kolenu me'erev V'yavot tzidkatenu miboker V'yera'eh piryonenu ar arev V'yera'eh piryonenu ar arev Ya'aleh inuyenu me'erev V'yavo slichatenu miboker V'yera'eh na'akatenu ar arev V'yera'eh na'akatenu ar arev Ya'aleh minusenu me'erev V'yavo lema'ano miboker V'yera'eh kipurenu ad arev V'yera'eh kipurenu ad arev Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 and faster Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la la Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 Ya'aleh la 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 la, la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la.
Chevra, it's time for the Kiddush. We'll be blessing up here. You'll be joining along with us, and you should be reassured that there's plenty more downstairs where that came from. So, on page 110.
I'm going to say, no. You're going to say, I'm going to say Savri, and you're going to say, L'chaim. So you know better than I do. Savri. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafel. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu im kol aham, v'romemanu im kol lashon, v'kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav. V'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava et yom hazikaron hazeh, Yom Teruah Mikra Kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Vacharta, V'otanu Kidashta Im Kol Ha'amim, U'dvarecha Emet, V'kayam La'ad, Baruch atah Adonai, Ruach al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Ruach al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Ay, 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 Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Ay, 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 la la, ya la la, ay, ay, la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ay, 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 la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ay, ay, la 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 la. La la ya la la la. Mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Amen. Yes, lots more to share downstairs.
As is there of the challah, which is in the beautiful round shape of our celebration of Rosh Hashanah. We need to effect a daisy chain, folks, and so I invite you to draw close in whatever way you feel you can, because this is how we do. And the motzi is on page 111. Should I reach this way?
Oh, yeah. Why don't you come over here? Okay. Okay. I'm coming over here.
That's looking good. Very nice.
Oh, should we do it? Okay. Nevarech, nevarech, nevarech et ein hachayim. Nevarech, nevarech, nevarech et ein hachayim. Hamotzi alechem min haaretz, min haaretz. Hamotzi alechem min haaretz, min haaretz.
Amen. L'shana tova, everybody.
See you in the morning. Ow, ow.
Not a wasted word. Really? Hey. Look at us, it's 8:55. Thank you very much. Great service.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. He thought it was a script. So, yeah. Especially me, I tend to weave in and on top of what Shlomo does.